Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're watching right around the world. That's right, it's that time of the week once again, and we're back for another SRL F1 2019 social race. And this is the place you want to be as we get ready to go racing here tonight from the beautiful Silverstone circuit in the UK, the home of Formula One. And the venue which hosted the first ever official F1 race way back in 1950. And I'm sure you've heard David Croft say that about 100,000 times during the British Grand Prix weekend. But, well, who knows, just one more for good measure as we get ready to load into this qualifying session tonight. A few new faces, a few old faces as well, I should say. And we've got an 18-minute qualifying session. We're looking at just a one-stop race tonight, and going from the soft tyres to the medium tyres as well. And we're going to see who's brave enough to tackle this Silverstone circuit, who can take the old Turn 1 cops flat out and keep it within the track limits. We're expecting a pole position time of a 1 minute 27. And we're looking for pit stops around lap 10 to 14 on the soft tyres. And we are racing with the F1 2019 cars rather than the multiplayer cars tonight. And we are in the original, the proper liveries as well. As we welcome everybody to the live stream tonight. Kane, Brad is joining us saying, let's go. And we've got BK11, who I think is Compact. No, I'm getting my people mixed up. Stephen McDonald, big hello to you. Butler, who says, go Sam Cham. We've got Nemo, hashtag Nemo Nation. Where you at? Everybody get amongst it. And Steve and Brad, of course, who my co-commentator, who's still away sick this week. We're wishing you all the very best. And we hope to have you next week, which will be another practice round before the season proper gets underway on September the 5th. So keep an eye out for that. All live and exclusive on the Kid Buyers YouTube channel from 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Time. As we get ready now, 18-minute qualifying session like I mentioned. And you can see there the drivers. We're just waiting for some on-track action so far this evening to get us underway. And we've got Nemo, Big Donger, BK11, whose name, who used to have another name, go by another name, and I can't quite think of it at the moment. Big Dog Jono, the great man himself. Then it's Sam Cham 10, the guy who has that Facebook page, whose name I can't remember either. I must have amnesia or something. Then it's the great man Wilco. Then it's Crumpkin, the man who hasn't had a good run in the qualifying sessions over the past couple of weeks. He's crashed out of a couple of them. And then we've got El Majacko there on your screen coming out of the pits in the Williams and the famous number 43 that Jacko uses. And then it's the Hef coming out of the pits pretty shortly. Honest Crook, we've got Fubbles there in the Mercedes, and then Compact 9123. And Brad says, we love you, Wilco. We do love you, Wilco. We do. And, boy, can't wait to be back, Brad. It's going to be great to have you back next week. And get well soon, brother. And Honest Crook says he's not going to make September the 5th because it's his birthday. And happy birthday for a couple of weeks' time as we see Compact now on the track. We might ride on board with Compact in the Red Bull. He's on his outlap at the moment. And we're just going to see what... I am the cameraman tonight as well. So I'm the commentator, I'm the director, you name it. I'm doing it at the moment. And we're going to get some telemetry up on screen. And we're going to just go with the fastest lap. And that is when somebody finally sets a fastest lap to get us underway in this session. And there we have it. So we're looking at compact now. We might flick through and see if anybody's coming up to start their hot lap. And we've got, there we go, BK. We've got Sam there in the Mercedes as well, just behind Nemo as the drivers getting ready to start their first hot lap of this session. We might flick through Crumping and having a moment through Maggots and Beckett's there, but still managing to keep it on the track as we're going to ride on board now with Jacko. Coming through now. He's gone through Stowe. Or Abbey, I should say, up towards Village. This track changing the layout back in 2010, I believe. And now we're going to see Jacko then, the time on your screen. Who can set a hot lap? Everybody on the soft tyres, except for Big Donga, who's going on the medium. So looking to reverse the strategy, a bit like what Jacko did last week in Canada. And Brad there saying these cars look absolutely beautiful in the offset T-cam. And there is no doubt about that. Back to the F1 2019 liveries of the teams, of course, from the multiplayer liveries last week. And the F2 car, or the F2 cars, I should say, and then the multiplayer liveries we've been running as Jacko gets onto the grass, just keeping it within track limits here as he comes onto the back straight now. The hanger straight down towards Stowe, up to 325 kilometres an hour, down to 5th gear. And he's got a good exit out of that corner, back up to 6th gear, up to 7th. Now braking through Vale, now into the last couple of corners. Out of the last corner, coming through now. Can he get a good exit here for the first hot lap of this evening? It's a 1:28.6. And Jacko goes straight to the top of the timing sheets. And we're expecting, like we said, lap times in the 1:27s tonight. And he was a bit wild through Maggots and Beckett's there, Brad. And I've got to say, Wilco, Nemo has crashed out of the session. So it's a bit of a tradition. We've had someone crash out of the session as BX11 goes with a 1:27.7. And Sam as well with a 1:29.992 as he looks to get out of the way of his teammate, who has also set a quick lap of a 1:28.3. Then it is Jacko with a 1:28.6. Compacted into a 1:30.127. And Big Dong with a 1:34 as we take a look. Nemo has crashed out of the session. Wilco coming out onto the track now. And as Crumpkin sets a 1:43. But he'll be looking to improve on that time as we're going to ride on board now with Wilco, who's on his out lap. The Hef, what can he do as he comes across the line to complete his first hot run? And he's gone straight up to 4th. So provisional 4th spot for the Hef, a 1:28.432. How good is that with 12 minutes remaining in this session? And Brad says, not Nemo. Oh boy, yes, it's Nemo. And we were trying to get Nemo Nation trending on the live stream comments, but unfortunately he's crashed out in the opening couple of minutes of this session. As we've got 3 drivers now into the 1:27s as we keep flicking through the order. These cars, like Bradley said, looking absolutely beautiful in the offset T-cam as we go through now. Big Donga coming into the pits, 1:34. He's not going to be happy with that. And Crumpkin now, he's already done 1 lap on these tyres. As, well, BK11, who's gone to the top of the charts, 1:27.7. Compact getting out of the way there as we go down Hanger Straight, approaching Stowe at this beautiful traditional Silverstone circuit. And so now, oh, he's going very slowly there. He might be either on a cool down lap, or is he going to start another hot lap here? And Crumpkin, is he going to improve? I don't think so. He's going awfully slowly there. He's, I think he might have aborted this lap. He might be starting another lap. No, 1:34.5 for Crumpkin. As Big Dog Jono yet to come out of the pits. As we watch Wilco now. We might stick with this one. We're going to ride on board with Jason Wilkinson. And Brad says, so planted throughout the track. Honestly, amazing. Absolutely fantastic. I don't know why I say that sort of stuff like Martin Brundle, but that's a very bad Martin Brundle impression. I do apologise, but just over 10 minutes, 11 minutes in fact, remaining in this qualifying session. And it's your man, Jason Wilkinson. Oh, just using every bit of curb he can there. going through the Loop Aintree and the Wellington Straight. Now onto the old back straight, heading towards Cops. Look at this, up to 300 kilometres an hour. Can he take this flat? Is he going to lift? Oh, there's a slight lift there, but don't forget about track limits, of course, as well. And through the last sector of the lap, heading through Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel. And you've got to be brave to go through here at full speed. And coming now on to the back straight now, heading to the final part of this lap. Sector 3, they're looking pretty good for Wilco, using up all the battery, all the ERS, using DRS, you name it, using all the battery, all of his talent, all of his ability here to get, can he get onto the front row of the grid here at Silverstone tonight? Through the last corner, out of the last corner, it's a 127.9, but it's only good enough for P2 on the grid for Jason Wilkinson. But if we know Wilco like we do know Wilco, he will be back with a vengeance to try and knock off BK. And the big kahuna up there in P1, still on a 127.7. Wilco just 0.2 behind him, and then it's Jacko not too far behind him again as he comes out for another run here tonight, a 129. Look how close it is from second to fourth, from Wilco to Sam. 127.916, all 127.9s, and just a kitten's whisker in it. And Jacko in P3 at the moment, and Sam in P4. And I reckon he's on a quick lap now. We might stick with this. The man who has the F1 banter page, who I think I've liked on Facebook, but if I haven't, I do apologise. I'm going to Google that. I think I do like it though. And boy, there hasn't been much to do in the summer break, of course. Waiting for F1 to come back. As Brad says, Jason's lap looks so scarily fast, but it was only good enough for P2. And I do apologise because I did miss BK's lap, the big kahuna, with his 127.7. So I do apologise as we watch Jacko there, I think it was, just getting out of the way of Sam as he comes through the old turn 1 before this track was changed, of course, and through the Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel, flat out now. Here comes Sam. He's got the Hef in front of him. Oh, did he affect? Is that going to affect his time and affect his lap here? I reckon it might, because Hef there he just had nowhere to go, Hef, through Maggots and Beckett's, and he just can't evaporate, of course, either. But he did his best, and now Sam, I reckon that might have put him off, because he's just had a bit of a moment there in the last part of this lap, and now he's into the pit lane, and we might just keep chugging through this, and Hef coming in too, right behind Sam. And Wilco saying, I stuffed up my lap time to gain through the first and second sector. So while Wilco's looking to get the gains, not in the gym, but out there on the circuit as Fubbles, Sam's teammate now. What's he doing there? A 128.3 for him, so just good enough for P6 in the third row of the grid. Coming through the last part of the lap now. And Sam not happy with the Hef. And he'll have some explaining to do as BK's gone even quicker. Oh boy, I've missed that lap again, and Sam just saying, fucking Hef, he is not a happy sham at all, is Sam. You know what I'm trying to say as we take a look now. A bit of a moment there for Fubs coming onto the back straight. And, well, I've got to say now, we've had some blocking so far on this lap as his teammate, Sam's teammate. Fubbles coming onto the back straight. What can he do? Currently in P6 at the moment. Everybody, like I said, on the soft tyres, except for Honest Crook on the mediums as he comes through the last couple of corners. Can Fubbles improve on P6 at a 128.3? No, he can't, and he stays in P6. As Big Donga there with a 128.394, a man who was very quick in the F2 cars. I almost call them GP2 cars now. Still, would you believe? Showing my age a little bit, it's got to be said, as we've got 6.5 minutes remaining in this session. Honest Crook, he's down in P8 with a 129 flat as he comes into the pits. And Compact, I think, is in the garage. Crumpkin is still in P10. Nemo, who crashed out there. And he's sitting in the garage, probably scrolling through his Facebook at the moment. And he'll be watching this live stream, I'm sure. Big Dog Jono not out of the garage yet. He has not set a lap, still in the pits, as this is the man. Gunter Steiner will be very happy with this man. He is your provisional pole sitter with just under 6 minutes remaining in this session. And Gunter would be very happy if we go down to Gunter on the team on the wall. Sorry, that sounds a little bit like Toto Wolff rather than Gunter Steiner. But Jacko, what's he doing? He's 3/10 off of pole position at the moment, a 1:27.482, which was the quickest time before BK went even quicker. And we're going to stick with this if Jacko is still on a hot lap. And Brad says, you guys are scary fast. And Kane Leishman says, I don't think I'll go back out. But Kane, if you'd like to tell us what your PSN name is, which driver are you, BK? I think I'm speaking to BK, but we'll get that confirmed. As Jacko down the back straight now. Only up to 300 kilometres an hour. DRS open, ERS being used as well. Here we go, runs slightly wide. Is he going to go into the pits? Yes, he is. And now Wilco, what can he do? He's slightly up in Sector 1. He's 0.17 up in Sector 1, and I don't want to put him off if he's listening. Oh, the commentator's curse almost striking. And Kane is Crumpkin Kano. I should have worked that one out myself, but thank you for that, Kane, as he's not going out again. He's currently in P10, so just inside the top 10 for you, Crumpkin, which means you'll have to start on the tyre you qualified on. You're going off the rules, of course. Nemo and Big Dog Jono have a free choice of tyres for the start of this race. And we'll just look at our race notes as we look at Wilco now. Is he going to keep going with this lap? Here we go then, the race notes. We've got the teammates, of course, for tonight as well. Nemo and Jacko in the Williams, and Sam and Fubbles in the Mercs as Wilco comes back in. And we haven't seen his teammate, Big Dick Jono, either, of course, tonight. So maybe a strategy there, starting from P12 on the grid. And getting a fresh set of tyres as well to boot. Now, we'll just keep flicking through. Sam coming out for another run. Here comes Hef, heading towards Maggots and Beckett's and Chapel. The fast-flowing left and right-hand corners. Look at this. How good do they look with the downforce on these current-day F1 cars? Jesus Christ, I've hit my own microphone off my head here. That's how excited I am as we look at Hef down the back straight at the moment. In the final part of the lap, heading towards Stowe corner, down hanger straight through Stowe, heading towards Vale here. Just over 3 minutes remaining in this session. Through the last couple of corners, Hef currently there in P5. Oh, he has a bit of a moment. Gets a bit of a tank slapper on. Can he improve? No, he can't, and it's only good enough for a 1:28.570 here tonight. So we've got the top 4 drivers then in the 1:27s with BK with a 1:27.482. Yellow flag in Sector 1. So just under 3 minutes remaining in this session as BK and Jacko currently on an outlap. Wilco is in the pits. Sam in the Mercedes there, as you can see, also on an outlap. As we go to a wider shot of the cars, we're going to just see the detail. Best fitted tyre, telemetry. We've got the lap data, the telemetry, you name it. So Sam on his outlap. We'll keep flicking through then. Hef, is he on another hot lap? He's got some traffic in front of him in Big Donga, who's only in P7 tonight. So Big Donga then, he might not be on a quick lap there. He looks to be low on fuel, I think. And Brad saying it's a bummer for Hef having that moment at the last corner. No doubt about that. And here's Fubbles then, who's going very slowly. Big Donga, what can he do? We might stick with this lap. Is he going to complete the lap? He's currently down in P7. One of 4 drivers into the 1:28s. Now on to Hanger Straight, heading towards Stowe. DRS open up to 300, more than 300 kilometres an hour, 320 Ks here tonight. Through Vale, towards the end of the lap, the drivers have been flirting with the outside of that corner. As what can Big Donga do? 1:28.394, a fraction of a second behind Fubbles and Hef. Can he improve? No, he can't. Or he might be just starting his hot lap now, beg your pardon, as he comes through. Look at that, flat out through Cops to start this lap. We might stick with this one, I reckon, if Big Donga can improve. We'll go to the wide shot there. As, well, boy, you're right, Brad. Here we go. Final chance for everybody. Less than a minute remaining. So if you stuff it up now, you're stuffed. And you will not improve towards the end of this session. As we look at Big Donga, the number 13. Will it be a lucky number for him as we ride on board? We might just see if anyone else is going quicker there. Compact in the Red Bull. Can he go quicker now? I don't think he's going to do it. We might keep flicking through. BK. And he's up. We're going to stick with this one. So Big Donga, his teammate. We've ditched Big Donga. We're going with BK11. And this is the last chance, like you said, Brad. The time counting down as BK now through the... he's currently in Sector 2. He is up on this lap. So this is going to be a very, very quick lap, I reckon for BK. As I can hear someone who's just left the party. Thank you for that. And here we go. Onto the hanger straight, gets it slightly wrong. Is he up on this sector? He's still up by 1/10 of a second. So BK11 could be going even quicker here on this lap. He runs very wide. Is he going to get a penalty for that, or his lap invalidated as Elmer Jacko retires from the session? But I reckon this is going to be the lap. He comes around the last corner across the start-finish line and he improves by 0.3 of a second. So BK with a 1:27.162. His teammate, who we were riding on board with throughout the first part of his lap, improved up to P3 as Sam goes into the wall, commits hurry curry. But look at that. How good is that? How close is that? As we take a look now, Wilco is up in Sector 2 as there's some damaged motor cars off the left-hand corner of your screen. But now Wilco currently in P5, only good enough for the third row of the grid here tonight. Through the last couple of corners, he's currently on a 1:27.916. He needs to find something, and he needs to pull something out of the backside to take pole position or improve his lap time. He comes across the start-finish line, and it's good enough, a 1:27. Good enough for fourth position on the grid. So he gets a second row start in the Ferrari here tonight. And boy, we are set for a ding-dong battle. Have a look at that. BK going even quicker with a 1:27.162 ahead of Elmer Jacko with a 1:27.523. And look at that, fractionally ahead of Big Donga there. Wilco in fourth, just pipping Sam and the Hef at the end. Sam in P5, the Hef in P6, Fubbles in the other Mercedes in P7, Compact in P8, Honest Crook further down in P9, the man whose birthday is on September the 5th. Happy birthday to you, my good man. Crumpkin there, not crashing out of the session, but still setting a time of 1:34.5. And Nemo, who crashed out in 11th, and Big Dog Jono, who didn't even come out of the pits, I don't reckon. He is starting from P12, but Nemo and Jono will be starting on their own choice of tyre. Just a one-stop race we're expecting here at Silverstone tonight, the home of motorsport, the home of the British Grand Prix. And boy, the Sky F1 team remind us about that, don't they? Every time we go there every year. But it is great to have your company. 8 people watching the stream. Sam, Brad, Nemo, and Jimmy Zachman's back. The man who was on holidays in Turkey a couple of weeks ago, but lives in the UK. We are at your home Grand Prix, Zach. And I think I can call him Zach if I'm, unless I'm very much mistaken. The man, there he is, his home Grand Prix. That's right, Zach, man. We are going to get ready for an absolute ding-donger spicy battle here. We've got some big names. Wilco the Hef, Big Dog Jono, and the rest of them. Sam, the kid who runs that Facebook page, as we're off on the formation lap. It gets me every damn time, that one. But it is the formation lap, as we're going to just change the cameras. We're going to try and get some information up on your screen. And stops, tyres, the position changes. And we might just go with the stops, position changes. There we go. We might keep that up for the start. Always good to know who's improved or gone down the order off the start line. So it's BK in P1 who set a 1:27.1. Then it's Jacko in that beautiful looking Williams Renault. And boy, you should be excited, Zach. He says, yo, 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 hey, yes. Very homeboy sort of lingo. But Brad saying, waiting for those big Donga dive bombs. Who could forget that from last week? The famous patented big Donga dive bomb. And I think we had a little bit of a jingle to that too, Brad, if I'm not mistaken. And I think it was, keep your eyes open for a dive bomb. Big Donga. Yeah. Or something like that. Anyway, it was still very humorous. And indeed, it was that funny that it just kept getting funnier. And we're still using it this week. And boy, the hilarity is going to ensue, no doubt. So we've got a Haas in P1, Jacko in P2. So it's Haas, Williams, Haas. And I just want to ask a few questions here tonight because it's going to be interesting to see. I've just done a Will Buxton there with the Haas memes and the Haas puns. But Jason in P4, very cheeky, sneaking up into P4 there. Then it's Sam from the F1 Banter Facebook page. A man, an influencer. I think that's what they're called. But great to see him with us tonight. The Hef in P6. And good to know you enjoyed that one, Brad. But here's Fubbles, his teammate further behind him. And I think we've lost Hef. He might have been kicked from the formation lap. Compact in P8. Honest Crook in the other. Well, there's only one of them, but the Toro Rosso in P9. Crumpkin in P10 in the Renault. Nemo, who's still in the garage. I think something's going on there along with Big Dog Jono as we get ready to go racing here tonight. One light, two lights, three lights, four lights, five lights. And it's go, go, go for Silverstone. Here we go then, down to the first corner. Look at them stream through. Jacko there. Holds on to P2. Sam's made a place off the line. Jason has lost a place off the line as the Haas BK in the leader. Red Bull going off there, so it's Haas, Williams, Haas. Then Sam up to P4. Jason down to P5. Then it's Compact, who's made up two positions along with Honest Crook. But Big Dog Jono, the big winner from the starters, Jacko, goes down the inside here on lap one. And now the inside is going to turn into the outside now as BK holds his position. But Jacko not giving an inch here at the moment. Great racing on lap one. 26 laps here tonight, a 50% race. And boy, Jacko there in a Haas sandwich. So it's Haas first, Jacko second. He goes off the track, but that's going to give him a good run at BK. But boy, what a race. What an opening lap. So we're going to ride on board now with Jacko here on lap one. And just 4 tenths now, and Sam has managed to get by the Haas, but I reckon Big Dog is going to have a go at him. Let's ride on board with this. Sam looks to cover him off. Down the hanger straight, heading towards Stowe, and they make contact. And I reckon I didn't get the view from Sam's car, but I reckon there's contact there, and Sam has gone off into the gravel. And he is right down the order now, and he's going to be under pressure from Crumpkin and the Hef, as indeed he comes into the pits along with Crumpkin. But we're going to get back to the front now. And lap two, so some drama on lap one. And Steve saying the Williams is trash. It's doing all right at the moment, though. Stephen saying Magnussen moved there. Nemo no longer in the session like last week with Hef in the F2. So sorry about that. I've muted my own microphone. I've managed to step on it. But anyway, lap two out of 26. This is incredible. It's BK after a hectic opening lap. He's managed to avoid the carnage. And he is in P1. Then it's Jacko in P2 now. The gap about 1/10 of a second or so. And then it's Big Donga. Oh, look at this battle. Look how spicy this is. Wilco and Big Donga, the Haas and the Ferrari side by side heading in towards that corner. Look at this. Oh, there's contact. And that looked very, very dodgy indeed. As we're going to ride on board now with Wilco. And he's got Big Donga right up his ginger. Keeping him honest now as we go down the main straight. Down hanger straight, heading towards Stowe. And some big drama indeed, Bradley, on lap one, and it's only getting spicier. Jimmy Zachman, the Zach says, Stephen, I agree, as lap two out of 26. Like we said, the one-stop race here tonight, the 50% race, soft tyres to medium tyres, I would assume. And BK then setting another quick lap then in this race, a 1:31.817 as it's all happening here. Is he going to have another go at Wilco? I don't think so. But Magnussen becoming the Maldonado, says Zach. But we're just going to try and go to the spectator menu and see what tyres these drivers are on. And the gap to the leader, that's probably a bit of an easier way to work it out. But look how close this is. And we're just riding now on board with the second Haas. And off the racing line, you can see the dust getting kicked up. And is he going to go down the outside? Oh, this is very close. Wilco holding his line there through the old final corner. And now onto the old, I should say, not very old, but the old start-finish straight. But we're going to keep going through the order. Big Dog Jono, look at this. The man who started in P12 is up to P5 and looking very, very good on a brand new set of soft tyres. He runs wide now. He's got the Toro Rosso right behind him. And then it's Compact in the Red Bull. Fubbles. Oh boy, side by side, and he's off. Fubbles is off the track. So both Mercedes-Benz cars have been in the wars, and we're only on lap 3 at the moment. And they do have some beautiful broadcast angles here tonight, Brad. You are spot on the money, my friend, as per usual. But look at that contact for Fubbles and Sam. Both the Mercs getting into all sorts of trouble in the opening 3 laps. Not a good start for them. Crumpkin, where on earth's he going? He's down in P11, 50 seconds off the leader. Nemo is not starting this race. He's checking his Facebook in the pit lane, probably hanging around some lovely ladies. And Stephen McDonald not happy with Compact. And your bro has been in the wars, hasn't he? But the two Mercs, 9 and 10th. As, oh goodness, we're seeing something happen here. Wilco and Big Donger are going at it again. We're going to stick with this battle because I think it's roughly the closest on track, though. Here we go. If only the Mercs could do this in real life, Brad. You're right, it would be more exciting, wouldn't it? But here we go. As Big Donger, he's also in a Ferrari sandwich with Big Dog Jono a few seconds back in P5. But let's ride on board with the Big Donger man himself. The drivers running very wide like they have all race and all qualifying session. There's a bit of a gap there now. A few tenths between Wilco. Oh, you've just got to be so brave. And Zach says, hell nah, Mercs for life. We're talking to someone from the UK here at your home race. And gets in there, Lewis. Oh, we're talking to a Lewis fan there, Zach. I know what you're talking about. But anyway, let's keep going through the order then. Big Dog Jono has made up all sorts of places in this race tonight, from P12 to P5. And he is driving for Ferrari, of course, as he locks up a brake there towards the end of this lap. So we'll wait and see whether they'll stuff him over with strategy. Maybe have an each-way bet between Wilco and Big Dog Jono. But we've got 11 people watching the stream at the moment. And God, I love every one of you. Zach says, Valtteri, it's James. It's James. To whom it may concern. Kyo. Beep. As we can't swear, can we, on the live stream? But wherever you're watching us right around the world, it's great to have your company here tonight on the most exciting live stream in the country. And I know that not everyone's watching from Australia. Oh my God, we've got 12 people watching. But watch this. Look at this battle. It's Toro Rosso versus Ferrari. And this is awesome stuff now. Coming onto the old back straight, Big Dog Jono. And he's got Honest Crook keeping him honest. And see what I did there. But Honest Crook, a man who I've been racing with for many, many years as well on the PlayStation. And Big Dog Jono just putting his foot to the floor. And you've got to have big balls through that corner. Now we come into Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel. And I think that was that James Hunt who said big balls, or it might have been Nicky Lauder. Nicky Lauder? I can't quite remember. God bless Nicky. Rest in peace. And DRS open now. Using up all of his battery here for Honest Crook. Can he ever go down into Stowe? Big Dog Jono. Big Dick Johnson just pinching a brake there, locking his wheels. But he's not going to get through there. We're going to keep going through the order. Compact there with a bird's eye view of that battle in P7. Then it's Hef off the track again. It's Renault, Mercedes-Benz Sam on the comeback trail. 44 seconds off the lead. But we've got a long, long way to go, Sam. So do not give up. I think I can. There's Fubbles in P10. Stephen McDonald just up and about. Your bro is on the comeback. And Brad just confirming that it was James Hunt who said that famous line about big balls. I think might have been Sterling Moss interviewing him, I think. Stephen McDonald says, Mike Hunt. Oh, you tried to catch me out, Steve, you little rascal. And then Zach Mann says Verstappen is the next Schumacher. And Brad saying, and his big British balls. Well, I used to love the way James used to talk. It was so sophisticated. And Zach just laughing out loud on the live stream. But 11, 12 people watching the live stream. These are record numbers. Double figures here. Don't forget, if you want to get involved, head to the SRL website, supremeracingleague.com.au. All the W's in front of that. Don't forget to get involved. It is going to be absolutely magnificent. As Crumpkin now a minute off the lead, and Nemo, and he's 5 laps down. But like we said, he hasn't started this race. Here we go. It's BK who's done so. Everybody. We've got a couple of drivers who have come into the pits, of course. Sam and Fubbles, I believe, have come in to change onto the hard tyres. And, oh my goodness, Brad, we've got King Julian's joined the live stream. Our beloved King Julian. King Julian, King Julian. And big hello to you, Julian. God, we love you. And it's great to have you on board. We haven't seen him since that classic race in Germany. And Zach Mann, who's a big fan of King Julian. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it. All right, great stuff there. We're going to get back to the races. Compact now as we go through this order. Big Dog Jono there in P5. Honest Crook has dropped further back from him. The Hef, the man, the myth, the legend. As there's a view of the pit lane. I'm guessing that's Compact who's come in to make a stop. And Steve McDonald says the man himself, the one, the only. One man, one desire. It's King Julian. And Julian saying he's been very busy with editing and all that jazz. Glad to have some time again. And Brad saying so entertaining. But look at this. This is going to be entertaining indeed, because Compact has come out right up behind Sam Cham, the kid with that Facebook page whose name I can't remember at the moment. But get on it. I think it's F1 Banter. And he is an influencer. Little does Compact know in the Red Bull, who's on the the medium tyres, I think. Is it the yellow marked medium tyres? And he's right up behind Sam, who went to the hard tyres, of course, so looking to run till the end of this race. And Sam running a little bit wide, but now Compact's got a good run on him. And is he going to use DRS down that back straight? I reckon he might be... he's just made a little bit of an error there himself. God, I'm excited. I'm so hot in this little commentary box room of mine. It's about 100 degrees in here, and it's winter as well. And you're right, Zach, Compact needs the slipstream from Sam, but he's a little bit further back, using up the battery, the DRS, the ERS, all of that stuff. But there we go, the second Mercedes then in P10. And look at that, Bubbles. You're not going to be happy with that, Stephen. He's just doing a little bit of off-roading there. And I heard that Fernando Alonso's doing the Dakar Rally. But Fubbles is doing a little rallying himself there. And he'll know I'm joking. But Crumpkin in P11. Nemo still having a slash there in the pit lane there. Probably hanging out in the paddock club. And Julian, 100 degrees. I'm just exaggerating a slight bit. But it is winter here in Australia. But I think it feels like 100 degrees anyway. But here we go. Lap 8 out of 26. And we're not at the halfway point of this race. We're about 1/3 of the race distance. 13 people watching the live stream. Oh my God, these numbers are absolutely unbelievable, and I can just hope that I can entertain you for the remaining 14 laps of this race. There might be, is it more than 18 laps, of course, I can't count, but we're in the UK, and who could forget that song by Robbie Williams? Let me entertain you. Anyway, so, oh boy, look at this. Things have really tightened up at the front. And King Julian and Brad saying Fubbles having no luck this week. No, he's not. He's had a shithouse run, really. And he is shit out of luck, really, when you think about it. But Zach is saying rainy summer most of the time here in the UK. And my grandparents are actually British, so there is a bit of British heritage there, Crofty, if you don't mind. And Brad with the 3 funny faces. God, I miss you, Brad. It's going to be great to have you back next week, brother. But look at this battle. Oh, goodness. Something's happening down the order, I reckon, Sam, or is it Hef? No, Hef's come into the pits. I saw those little arrows going down. I'm going to have to take my jumper off here because I swear to God, I'm just going to pass out in a moment or two because I'm getting that excited. For anyone who wants to know, I'm trying to do the Murray Walker technique. I do stand up when I'm calling the races just to extend the vocal cords out and just project my voice. God, try English, kid buyers. That might help. As let's go through this order. Then the 2 Renaults in 9th and 10th. Now 15 people watching the stream. As Zach says, oh my goodness, if only Williams could do this in real life, as BK has come into the pits, and we've got official word from race control that he has a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Oh, how much is that going to affect this race? As on go the yellow marked medium tyres, off go the hards. On go the mediums, 1-stop race, then lap 10 out of 26. Where is he going to come out here? Wilco into the pits as well, onto the medium tyres. And Big Donger, I should say. I always get those two mixed up. As King Julian saying, when's the season start? Well, officially, King Julian, we kick off things on September the 5th. So 2 weeks' time. Officially kicking off the SRL season for F1 2019 in 2 weeks' time. And thank you, Brad, for confirming that. And the Haas tyres glitching there, Zach. I reckon you're right. I don't think it was hard tyres. I think it was the soft tyres, of course, the red stripe soft tyres going on to Big Donger's car. As we keep going through the order then, Sam Cham, 8 laps. He's completed on those hard tyres. And there's some movement at the station, I reckon. Compact further behind him in the Red Bull now. And let's just keep scrolling through this order then. Honest Crook right up behind BK, but he does have the new medium tyres, of course. And Jacko is in the pit lane. El Majacko, a man who I've done a lot of racing with in previous years. A little bit of a fun fact. I won my first ever league race by punting Jacko off at Spain on F1 2013, and boy, he's never managed to let me forget about it. As we come into the pits now, enough about my old stories. And those tyres, I reckon you're spot on, Zach. They're glitching in the pit lane, but off come the soft tyres, on go the mediums. And now that means that Big Dog Jono, would you believe it, is currently in P1, leading this British Grand Prix for a man who started plumb last on the grid. He is leading this race. Unbelievable. And he's done 10 laps on those soft tyres, but he's yet to make his pit stop, of course. So he's probably in a net 3rd or 4th, I'd say. And Zach saying it's not NASCAR, mate. It's certainly not. NASCAR is 10 seconds behind his BK, so the man with the net first place. And we might ride back on the offset T-Cam here, always looking very nice in these 2019 cars. So we've got a Toro Rosso in P3. Jacko comes out of the pits, and he's done quite well then not to come out in the way of much traffic. But as I just try and find where my trusty dog has gone. There she is, sorry. Anyway, she's in the commentary box, my trusty dog Xena, the Maltese Shih Tzu. It's great to have her company. She's listening to Dad like, what the hell are you going on about, son? But Cart Dude saying, hey, cutie. And boy, I love you, Cart Dude. You know I love you, man. And Brad saying, my first league win was on F1 2012. At Monaco, a track I can no longer go around without crashing. Well, I've never been able to not crash around there, Brad. But Zach saying the worst livery is the Racing Point, the car which, the same as Crofty actually, I keep calling the Force India. And who could forget Kimi Räikkönen at Monaco? That famous team radio as BK sets a new quickest lap then, a 1:31.322 for BK. So those medium tyres working very nicely for him. And who could forget Kimi Räikkönen, who's saying about what did you get that Force India or whatever it's called. Anyway, so that's a really shithouse Kimi Räikkönen voice then. So we've got Wilco now as Fubbles retiring from this race. Stop everything. Brad has been good enough to let me know what's actually happening in this race, of course. And Fubbles has retired. And Cart Dude should be doing assignments. Oh my goodness, but he's procrastinating. I thought that said something else for a second, but let me just clear that up. Procrastinating rather than anything else with SRL instead. Can't do. I love you, and it's great to have your company here tonight. But everybody who's joined us on the live stream, 15 people have watched the live stream so far, and the two Renaults still down there in 9th and 10th. Crumpkin a lap down. Fubbles and Nemo are not in this race, but it's Big Dog Jono, Big Dick Johnson in P1, a position he's very used to in Project Cars and other games, of course. But he hasn't had a real good couple of weeks, but he's getting better, and he's coming good when he needs to, I reckon. And we're almost at half race distance now. As you can see, beautiful shots here. Look at that, the F1 car just knocking off the camera there on the curb, coming out of that corner. And BK absolutely flying. He set a new fastest lap of a 1:31.314, I think it was. And he is absolutely on fire, and he is chasing down Big Dog Jono at a rapid rate of knots. As, well, I think we've got a mover and shaker down there. I think it might have been Jacko going up into P3 ahead of Honest Crook. I thought he might have been coming into the pit lane, but he's done that fair and square. And Jacko then, he's only done 2 laps on those medium tyres compared to Honest Crook, who's done 12 laps. So Jacko with tyres 10 laps younger than Honest Crook, and he sees that move get done very nicely indeed. And now Jason, he's about to dip his bread in it. Dip his bread in it? Well, that didn't quite come out the way I would have wanted, but look at that. Honest Crook just almost getting out of the way there. And you might be mistaken for thinking that that is actually a lapped car, but that was for position on lap 13 out of 26. Oh, yes, that's right. You know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. Half the race gone and half still to go. Thank you, Murray. We'll be hearing a lot from Murray in the coming weeks, but half the race gone. That's right, Murray. Half still to go as Big Dog Jono now comes into the pits. So that is going to free these guys up, Jacko and Jason, Jacko and Wilco. It's Wacko Jacko versus Wilco, the man from Dandenong in Melbourne, or it could be Lilydale. I can never get anything right like that when it comes to where people live. But look at that, through turn 1, and Big Dog Jono, where's he going to come out from his pit stop? And oh my goodness, a 3-second time penalty for Crumpkin for corner cutting. And I can hear ASMR in the commentary box. Says Zach, BK has come from out of nowhere, you're right. And yes, we got it this week, we sure did. Half the race gone, half still to go. Lap 14 out of 26. My goodness, last name versus last name. Who can forget that too, Zach, on the official F1 graphic. So let's just recap for a moment as Big Dog Jono has come out in P8. And, well, he's behind Crumpkin there, who's a couple of laps down. Nemo not doing too much, still on his phone then in the F1 Paddock Club, probably chatting to some ladies. Oh, guess what? I'm an F1 driver, eh? But his teammate, he's only 5 seconds now behind the Haas in P1. And what a performance from this man. You can visually see the gap. 5.8 seconds. And it's going to be a race to the end between him and Jacko in the Williams. And that's the highest we've ever seen a Williams for a long, long time, of course. You can tell this is just a PlayStation game. And as Brad says, unfortunate for Donga being by himself. No prestigious Donga dive bombs. And I haven't said that a lot tonight about keep your eyes open for Big Donga. Donga's dive bombs. Taking the old Car City jingle, if anyone's old enough to remember that, of course. But oh, look at this. Look at this for a camera angle. This is going to get spicy. These two, and Honest Crook now 14 laps on those medium tyres as Crumpkin has got another time penalty. Any more of that sort of stuff, son, and you'll get disqualified. But that's a beautiful camera angle. You can see the wheel there up to 8th gear in the Toro Rosso. I think that's where Brendan Hartley went off a couple of years ago, but not a good corner for Toro Rossos. As Zach saying, shout me out. And that's That's a joke, I think. Anyway, I'm sorry about that, Zach. I'm getting confused. But Sam there in P6, Big Dog Jono in P7, the Hef in the Renault in P8, P9 for Compact in the Red Bull. Touch of Pierre Gasly about that. P9 between two Renaults. Anyway, never mind about that. Fubbles is retired. But look at this battle. We're going to ride on board. Another warning for Crumpkin. He wants to get disqualified, I reckon. Here we go. Brad saying Jace versus Jacko. The two J's. JJ. And boy, they're going to have a ding-dong battle here with 11 laps to go until the end of this one. And I've got to stop breaking into the Murray Walker all the time. Maybe a bit of David Croft. There could be a new winner in SRL. As BK then is all Big Donger and Honest Crook. As Honest Crook comes into the pit lane at the moment. 14 laps on those medium tyres. He might be changing to the soft tyres. As no resident Kubitzes this week either, says Brad. You're spot on. And you might want to be careful there, Brad. You might start getting a little bit of hate from the Polish fans who love Roberto. But he hasn't had a good season compared to his teammate George Russell. I know he said George Williams, but that's the team he drives for. So here we go then. Lap 16 out of 26. And this is the battle as Honest Crook comes out. Is he going to stay in the top 10? I think he's in P9 at the moment. But look at this driver select. We've got... no, I'm just having a muck around there with the on-screen display. But Jacko, what's he going to do then? He's got Jason breathing down his neck like a cheap suit. He's all over him, in fact, like a cheap suit. What am I talking about? But when is Wilco going to have a go? And could he make the move? He's got DRS here. Heading towards Stowe, down the hanger straight. He comes outside, using up the battery, the DRS. Look at that, up to 320 kilometres an hour, and he gets the job done. But Jacko's not done with yet. Down the outside, can Jacko hold it through the last couple of corners of this lap? I reckon Wilco's got the job done. And he is through, so Wilco is up to second. The man who started fourth on the grid tonight is up into P2. What a move from Jason Wilkinson. And it's all right, says Brad. George Russell can take it. I can take it. We can take the abuse from the Polish fans because that was a fantastic move from Jason Wilkinson. And like we said, he's up into P2, now off in pursuit of BK11. And Zach with the Lando Norris, what do you mean, like forever? And how funny is that? Lando Norris there. It all went quiet for a second. Hold for laughs. And I'll let you have a good chuckle at my Lando Norris impression. But here we go. Lap 17 out of 26. It's the Haas of BK in P1. And Wilco now. He's reeling him in, actually. 6 seconds now is all Wilco. You can see Wilco up ahead there, almost having a moment there, along with Jacko as well. But you need to be courageous. You need to have the courage. You'll need the big balls through these corners. As Brad says, forever, ever, forever, ever, forever, ever. I'm not sure what what's happening there. But Zach, okay, Zach. As you can see there, the fuel mixture. It's a beautiful looking car, that Williams. And I reckon now he's giving it full beans, is our man Jacko, in an attempt to try and catch Wilco in P2 as BK, a 131.2, has just extended his lead by about 7/10 of a second. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 2. And I'm not sure who is that off the circuit. Or it might have been Crumpkin, I reckon. He's had all sorts of trouble again, our man Crumpkin, who's one lap down. Fubbles retiring, of course. And, well, Nemo never quite got started. As is that the Mercedes mechanics. You can see in the bottom of your screen getting ready for a pit stop. And it's Sam, the man. And Compact has got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. As in comes Sam Cham, the man with the F1 Banner Facebook page. The influencer, the man, the myth, the legend himself, comes into the pits, gets rid of the hard compound tyre and puts the soft compound tyre on for the last 8 or so laps. And Brad saying BK is checking out in this race. And I'm checking out. As out of the pits comes Sam Cham. So he might be on for a fastest lap here, providing he finishes in the top 10. He will get a point for that fastest lap. But late pit stop there, Zach. You're right on the money for Sam. You're not racing, Zach. I almost said Zach instead of Sam, but there we go. Just showing my age a bit as we've got a Renault in the pit lane now. And I think he might have been on the mediums, Crumpkin, but he's gone on to the soft tyres. I keep almost saying super soft, but that's what they were called last year as we keep going through. Then our leader out in front, who's in the 131.2s at the moment. And like you said, Brad, he is checking out up in front. That gap now 7.2. But Wilco's got his own problems to worry about here in the remaining 7 laps of this race because he's got Jacko giving it full beans right behind him. Jacko, he's got 81% battery. He's got DRS. You can see there he's probably running in the rich fuel mix as he's just Brad there saying Wilco on the podium interviews. It is certainly in the contract, along with plenty of airtime for Wilco as well. And we're going to stick with this. I think this is the closest battle on the circuit here on lap 19 out of 26 here in the SRL British Grand Prix. Up to 310 kilometres an hour, then down to 5th gear, down to 4th. As we head on to the hangar straight, riding on board with the Williams of El Majacco, who's done 8 laps on these medium tyres compared to Jason's 9 laps. So if anything, he's got a decent amount of battery left there. You can see on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. He's got 80% battery then, and I can't quite see his fuel levels, but he's harnessing that energy, saving fuel, I reckon. And his tyres, if it's any consolation, are 1 lap younger than Jacko's, than Wilco's. Jacko and Jason, getting those two mixed up. How good am I going? But let's keep going through the order then. That gap now less than 7 seconds. The second Haas is in P4. As Zach says, import the F1 theme song. And saying about watch eye contrast and import the F1 theme song. It's a great song, isn't it? Dun 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 dun. Oh, how good's that? And geez, I'll probably get done for copyright. That's how good that was. But pretty much, if you mention any song in the comments, I'll try and sing it. And along with King Julian. It's been great to have everybody's company tonight. But look at this, the Toro Rosso in P7. What was I talking about? There's plenty of battles going on, and now Sam Cham, the man who's down there in P9, has set a quick lap of a 1:30 point something, and no surprises there. He's on brand new soft tyres, and then Crumpkin, who's now 2 laps down. I don't know whether he'll be able to challenge that, but BK leading. Then it's the Ferrari, then it's Jacko, who's had DRS, but he just can't quite get the job done, can he? As Zach says, laugh my ass off. We've got Zach laughing his ass off in the comments below. And I do like to sing. For anyone who's new to this stream, welcome to you. As we've got another driver to retire. 12 started. Well, technically only 11 started. We've got 2 retirements, and Nemo is 20 laps down. He never quite got out of the garage. But it's big. It's awesome to have everybody's company tonight. Zach, Brad, King Julian, Sam. And Compact is out, of course. And we've got to impress King Julian as well, because he is the man who runs SRL. And so we've got to just keep it nice and clean and family friendly. Family friendly, folks, if we're going to be on the air next week. But lap 21 out of 26 here at Silverstone, the host of the first ever British Grand Prix back on the 13th of May 1950. And you're probably wondering how I know that sort of stuff. Well, I'm a bit like, maybe it's a commentator's thing. I'm a bit weird when it comes to F1 stuff. I absolutely love Formula 1 and everything to do with it. But but 1 like equals 1 prayer, says Zachman. As Compact, we know that he's out of the race. Look at that, 10 people watching the stream still. I'm amazed. You're still with us. 11 now. Make that 11. And more than 120 comments as Compact has said, stuff this. I'm going off now, and he's left the session. So BK, the man in the rich energy Haas car, Haas first and 4th. And I don't think that Gunter Steiner could ask any more from his 2 drivers here in this race. And I'll leave a little pause there for the audience to laugh, because Haas first and fourth, much better than how they're doing in real life, of course. But we've just got 4 laps remaining in this race here tonight. Lap 22, lap 26. Oh my goodness. Shut up, kit buyers, and just watch this battle between Jacko and Jason. Wilco and Jacko. I think he might have tried to make a move, but Wilco then getting his nose back in front. DRS open battery as well. Jason on the inside defending, but Jacko says, I'll go around the outside if you don't like that. And now he's going to have the inside line for the next corner. They almost touch. This is so close. We've got this spicy battle in the remaining 4 laps of this race, and now they're side by side. Oh my goodness. Have you got any fingernails left here? Look at that. Wilco hangs it around the outside, foot to the floor, pedal to the metal, flat out. Now through Maggots, Beggots and Chapel, and if Jacko can get a good run out of these few corners, I reckon he's going to have a go. On the back straight, he's going to have the DRS on the back as well, and very funny, Zach, there. Spicy battle for P2 indeed, Brad, but now he's going to have a go. DRS open, battery as well, up to 320 Ks. He tries to go around the outside. How close was that? On the old pit straight there, very much like Vettel and Alonso, that battle they had there in 2014 in real life, but now he's going to have another go. And I know there's some, I know Honest Crook and Hef are having a battle in the Toro Rosso and Renault down for P6 and P7, but with 3 laps to go, we are going to stick with this battle, riding on board now with Jacko. You can see Wilco just up ahead of him, look at this. Through turns 1, 2, 3, 4, and we've got the first DRS zone coming up. We might flick to Wilco's perspective, I think, if this is going to get very close. Yellow flag in sector 3, but that's not going to worry these two. And is he going to have another go down the outside? Look at this. How close. A bit of deja vu from the last lap. And where is Jacko going to get this move done with just 2 and a bit laps to go until the end of this race? And we've got a bird's eye view of this battle now. This is absolutely wild, Bradley. You are spot on, and Wilco's made a mistake. And now that's going to let Jacko through and up into P2, but Wilco's not done with yet. And you can see, I think it was through Cop's corner there, Jason pedal to the metal, trying to go flat out. And the big cojones, the man with big balls, just getting it all wrong in the back end, slipping out. But now Wilco's coming back at him. Up towards Stowe, down the inside. Is he going to make it stick? He's got it up into P2. Jason Wilkinson. This is incredible stuff. But now Jacko is going to have another go, is he? Down the inside, now onto the outside. Trying to keep it all within track limits. This is wild stuff, Brad. Absolutely loving it. And Williams versus Ferrari there, Brad. It's very reminiscent of Jerez 97, of course, the Williams and the Ferrari. And Jacko there locking up. It was the Williams that triumphed that day. Will it be the Williams today? Or will it be the Ferrari? Look at this, Wilco with just 2 laps remaining. And this is helping out the Haas in P1, of course. This battle, the gap now 10 seconds, but never mind about that. This is the battle. This is where it's at. Jacko, will it be third time lucky in this battle? And they make contact, but both drivers stay on the black stuff. A little bit of lag there, but never worry about that, because now they're going to be side by side. Look at this. Oh, this is worth the price of admission alone. With just 2 laps remaining now, these drivers, as Jacko disappears off to the side of the track. And Zach says, insert the intense music. Dun, 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 dun. And here we go then. Jacko in P3, Wilco in P2. The battle for second place on the podium. Wilco holding the inside line, making Jacko go around the long way, not making things easy for him, and nor would you expect him to make things easy for Jacko. As we're now into the penultimate lap of this race, we might quickly flick to the battle between Honest Crook and Hef. But it's written into our contract. We'll probably have to stick with this battle, Brad, I reckon, if we want a job next week. But where is Jacko going to get this job done? Where can he get this move signed, sealed and delivered? Is it going to be this lap? Is it going to be next lap? But he's only got 1 more lap to go in this race. Incredible stuff. Oh, they've bumped uglies again, I reckon. They've made contact again now, Jacko. He's only going to have this lap and the next lap to get this job done and get past Wilco in the Ferrari. DRS Open, battery at 53%. And he's a little bit further back than what he has been. And, well, there you can see Wilco with 48% battery life. And Jacko then harnessing the battery a little bit more. He's got 55% battery. We might just flick to our leader going across the line on the next lap, but we're going to try and stick with this battle. So it is BK out in front in the Haas, Wilco in second, the man on your screen in P3, who just is absolutely looking to find every inch he can, every bit of speed, everything he can do to get this move done and get up into P3. Very close, very fair racing. And, oh, he's going to go down the outside. He's going to try and sign, seal, and send it. Wilco putting some manners on Wilco, but Wilco goes down the inside. He locks the brake. Now through the last couple of corners, he just keeps his nose in front as we start the last lap of this race. And, Brad, this is epic. You bet it is. Unbelievable stuff at the moment as we go into lap 26, the last lap of this race. This is absolutely incredible. Wilco then low on fuel, but he's got a bit of battery life remaining. And these races certainly do bring some last lap drama, that's for sure. Or late race drama now. Jacko, DRS Open, using up everything. The fuel maxed out, and he's up into P2. He's done it. But Wilco comes back at him, stays on the inside line. They do the crisscross move. Is Jacko going to move across now? Oh, he's missed the first DRS zone, and he's just got half a lap to get this job done. Wilco's got a few more corners and one DRS zone to negotiate. And he's going to have an almighty crack at him here down the Hangar Straight, heading towards Stowe on the final lap of this race. And BK is going to come across the line to win it, but we're going to stick with this because this is where it's at here at the moment. Intense racing at the moment. Absolutely incredible. And here we go. He's going to have a go. Last chance saloon down the inside. Jason tries to cover him off. They touch. The hand goes up. Has he got through? Yes, he has. Incredible stuff as BK crosses the line. Now Wilco's going to have a go. Oh, that looked a little bit naughty. But Jacko's staying in it as Sam comes through, but he's well down the field. Wilco comes across the line in P2 ahead of Jacko in P3. Oh boy, what a race, what a finish. And I'm not sure about what happened there at the end, but well, Jacko got the move done. And then Wilco came back at him. We'll have to look back on the stream and we'll have to look back at some replays, but it was Wilco in the end getting the job done. And BK then in the Haas taking victory tonight. He did have a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, but he finished 9 seconds ahead of that epic battle for P2. So he wins this race here tonight at the British Grand Prix. Styling, my man. Ray Rolls, the man from WA, has been good enough to join us. And great to see you, brother, and thanks for joining the live stream. Sam, tough luck for you tonight, mate. Both the Mercs getting in the wars in the opening couple of laps, but good fun. Shane Big Donger put a big ram onto me and killed the fun on lap one. But you set the fastest lap, mate, so congratulations for that. And it is great. It was great to have you tonight on the live stream. And boy, this is going to be a heated podium interview, that's for sure. After what we've just witnessed, you can see there the Haas on to the first spot on the grid. It's going to be a heated driver's cool-down room, I reckon. And you can see Jacko and Wilco there in the background. I reckon those two might punch each other as BK, the BK man, he's just doing a little bit of Carlos Sainz at the moment. Smooth operator, smooth operator. How good is that? Good drive from BK. And he says justice for the hef. And BK absolutely smashing it tonight and well-deserved spraying the champagne. As we take a look, we recap the final results here at the SRL British Grand Prix. What a race we've seen, but it was BK taking the victory in first place there. Second, some might say controversially, but Wilco there taking P2 in the end ahead of Jacko after that epic battle in the final few laps of this race. Big Dogger, then the second Haas. So Haas first and fourth here tonight. Then it was Big Dick Jono in the Ferrari. So Ferraris and the Haas's both finishing in the top 5. Then it was Honest Crook, who had his own battle with the Heft down there for P6 and P7. Sam, who ended up getting the fastest lap of the race in P8. P9 for Crumpkin, who was all over the place, and Compact, who didn't finish the race, along with Fubbles as well. Nemo never got going. 12 drivers started, and I think we had 10 finish the race. And BK saying, cheers, fellas. And absolutely smashed it indeed, BK. You sure did, my friend. Smooth operator. Smooth operator. Okay, I'm going to stop singing that as I've got to invite... I'm sorry, everybody. I'm going to give it to you, the blue screen of death, as I try to invite everybody into this party. Invite players. We've got... who have we got here? I do apologise. We're just getting our podium finishers into the party. And there we go. Hang on. We're just trying to find Elmer Jacko. Where is he here? God almighty. Jeez, I'm getting old. Come on. Hang on. Oh, jeez, hang on. We'll just get... Here we go. We're sending the invites out now. And there we go. We're going to go back to the main screen now. Saying palms are sweaty, knees weak, palms are heavy, vomit on his sweater already, mom spaghetti. And Zach saying something else there. I'm dying. The blue wall of death is too powerful. But I had to do that, Zach, because I had to invite the great man Wilco in, and I couldn't find Jacko, and I don't think I'm friends with BK either, Wilco. You might be able to help me out.
Invited them. Yeah, that's invited them. So good. Go suggested players.
Okay, right, okay. Sorry to do this to you again, folks. We've got the blue screen of death back, but invite players. There we go. We've got them back in the party. Back in the party? They never were in the party, but now they are. Look at this. And, well, we're just going to get to our 1, 2, and 3, as Brad says. BK, Wilco, and Jacko. Well-driven race boys. I'm sorry, Zach. I've done it to you again with the blue screen of death. But, sorry, fellas, but...
Smooth operator.
Smooth operator. Smooth operator.
Just make sure your voice has been shared, boys.
Yep. Yeah, all right, Wilco. Just calm down. I'm just running things here.
So you're running the show.
All right. No, I'm just kidding. Wilco is our Bernie Eccleston, of course, so we better not say too much if you want a job next week. But BK, our race winner. And fantastic stuff, mate. You seem to have it in the bag. You took pole position. You got an early race penalty, I believe, for speeding in the pit lane.
Oh, what?
But it still didn't manage to slow you down too much, mate. Congratulations. Talk us through your race tonight.
Oh, well, I was sort of shitting myself at the start because I haven't actually league raced in about 2 years. And so I knew Jack was going to be on the inside at the start. So I thought just try to defend that position. Had that little battle with him at the start. And I was able to just hold him back a bit. Surprised he didn't follow me into the pits when I did, and when I sped into the pits, that was annoying. But I'm just happy I was able to drive consistently, and I was happy that Jacko and Jason battled it out, because that just sort of meant I could just drive smoothly, drive cleanly, and get to the finish in P1.
Awesome stuff, mate. Now, I've got to ask you, you've sent the live stream tonight, the comments in the live stream, into absolute meltdown, mate. You've got nicknames galore here. You're being called the package, the mailman, because you always deliver. BK is the equipment, says Butler, mate. Is there any pressure on you now after a performance like that?
Oh, well, I think when you win in your first outing of pre-season, I think there's always going to be that bit of pressure, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to live up to it. But, you know, Albert Park, it's a strong track of mine, so hopefully I can go all right. And based off tonight's result and tonight's pace, maybe I can make a push for the championship, but who knows?
And good stuff, mate. I tell a lie. I actually made those last two names up. But anyway, you still have plenty of support on the live stream. And I've got to ask one more question, mate. Forget about that. We'll move on to P2. Congratulations, mate, and all the best for a couple of weeks. I've been saying a couple of Haas puns tonight, following the Will Buxton style of Haas puns. But congratulations, mate, and you'll be able to go back to a happy Gunter Steiner tonight. Congratulations.
Cheers, brother.
All right, the big BK man the package, no, the mailman actually delivered the goods tonight as we go along to P2, the man in P2. Oh, it looked like a very, very intense battle there in the final few laps. Wilco, talk us through your race tonight.
Do you want me in my Ferrari Italian voice? P2, no, good job, hard racing. No, that was crazy. Yeah, I was managing fuel, ERS, just trying to do anything I could to keep in front, and I thought, oh, we're in for a quite easy finish here, and then Jacko just wound it up to 11, and shit, it was on. It was good racing.
Well, I've got to tell you, we were talking
at the end there, but yeah.
We were talking in the live stream, Jace, about Williams versus Ferrari, similar to Jerez in '97, the championship decider, and it ended a bit that way too, with a Ferrari and a Williams coming together almost, but Ferrari coming off better, or better on this occasion, I should say. But how do you feel about your pace, mate? We've had a couple of practice rounds, another practice round next week. Are you feeling confident before the season opener in 2 weeks' time?
Oh, we've got okay, that's news to me. 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We'll see what's going on. But yeah, no, it was pretty boring, that first stint. I was like, why the hell are we driving these cars still? This is boring as batshit. But then, yeah, it got spicy towards the end. Yeah, I don't know. Feel alright. Felt good. And we'll move on.
Good stuff. Jason at Wilco 19 there, the man in the Ferrari. You heard a few words from him in his own language. And as we move along head down the focus. I am stupid. Anyway, as we move along to the man in P3, a man who's done very well over the last week or so, El Majacko. My old mate Jacko, congratulations on P3 tonight, mate, and just talk us through your race and that battle in the final few laps.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah, it's been a while. Basically, haven't really played this game since the release a couple of weeks. And I thought, I'll give it a shot in these social races to see if I want to compete in the actual thing. And this was a pretty good indication that I may well sign up, because I actually had quite a lot of fun. Haven't leg raced since November last year. And I thought in the first instances of close quarters I wouldn't send any risky moves, because we've got to keep the reputation intact, And then when Jason came up behind me, I thought, he looks a bit quicker. I'll see if he can tow me along to BK. So I didn't defend. I think it was about lap 16 or so he came up behind me. And then when I realised he wasn't going to catch BK, I decided I might have a go and see how good the latency on this game is, and get really close to the Ferrari. I think there was a bump at Stowe on the last lap, but I'm not sure if it matched up on Jason's screen to my screen, because he seems to think it may have been more of a bump than I registered, certainly. And then I'm not sure what happened at the last braking zone, but it sort of jolted my car.
Verstappen Leclerc. Verstappen can get away with it, it's all good.
I'm not too concerned about any contact or anything like that. I was mainly seeing how close we could get without the game screwing us over. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with the pace, given I had no setup. So, just ran a random one. And, yeah, it went pretty well.
Awesome. Good stuff, mate, and yeah, great to see you back in the league racing world. And well, I reckon that's just about all we've got time for tonight here on tonight's live stream. Don't forget to join us next Thursday night as well from 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Time on the Kid Buyers channel for another practice round before we get the season underway. That's news to you, Jace. But anyway, we'll see how we go with the schedule for the new season. But tonight, just recapping, it was BK winning for Haas ahead of Jason Wilkinson in the Ferrari. Good the job in P2, and Williams, the return to glory there in P3. Their first podium, whether it be real life or a game, for a long, long time. But big thank you to everyone who's joined us on the live stream. My mate Zach from the UK. Brad, of course, who is still sick this week. He will be back in the commentary box alongside me next week. BK Stylen, my good mate from WA. He's been on the live stream. Sam, and who runs that Facebook page as well. King Julian as well, the man, the SRL guy. He's been up and about. But big thank you to everybody tonight for joining us on the live stream. And Jace, any final words about next week before we go?
I have no idea what we're doing yet. We'll decide over the next couple of days, and yeah.
Got no idea. Got no idea what we're doing. Just another day in my life, pretty much. But big thank you to everybody for joining us this week. It's been a fantastic British Grand Prix. Don't forget, if you want to get involved, head to allthews.supremeracingleague.com.au. That's all we've got time for. We'll see you next Thursday night, and August the 29th from 8 p.m. on the Kid Buyers channel. Be kind to one another. We'll see you then. Bye for now.